To spend that money on sneakers and jerseys, you revealed to the court the value you place on the human life that was taken.
One of the men convicted in the 2018 of rapper XXXTentacion is now appealing his conviction, and his legal team is focusing a lot of their attention on a major celebrity.
All right, y'all, buckle up, because what I'm about to tell you will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about one of the biggest names in music. Did Drake really have anything to do with XXXTentacion's tragic death, or is this just another wild conspiracy? Stick around, because the truth might just blow your mind. Okay, so let's dive right into the tea, because this story is serving drama, mystery, and a whole lot of unanswered questions. For those who don't know, the shocking murder of rapper XXXTentacion in 2018 left fans devastated and the music world in disbelief. But it didn't stop there. This case took a turn when whispers of a connection to Drake began to surface. And girl, let me just say, this situation has more layers than a croissant. So, let's rewind. On June 18th, 2018, XXXTentacion, whose real name was Jose Onfroy, was leaving a motorcycle dealership in Deerfield Beach, Florida, when he was ambushed in what authorities initially called a botched robbery. Surveillance footage showed his BMW blocked by an SUV, and moments later, two armed men demanded his belongings. Tragically,
XXX inside the dealership that day when at least one of the suspects walked past him. A short time later, the drama unfolded out.
X was shot multiple times and later pronounced dead. The attackers fled with a Louis Vuitton bag containing $50,000 in cash.
His cameras captured the ambush of rapper XXXTentacion as he prepared to leave a Deerfield Beach motorcycle dealership last June. The cameras show a vehicle block the rapper's exit, and then men jump out of the vehicle and confront XXXTentacion. One of the men goes into his car. Then there's a confrontation and a robbery, and the men shoot and the talented young...
Heartbreaking, right? But wait, this is where things get murky. Fast forward to the trial of the four men involved: Dedrick Williams, Robert Allen, Michael Boatwright, and Trayvon Newsom. While three maintained their innocence, Robert Allen flipped, striking a plea deal and testifying against the others. The evidence seemed solid: security footage, witness accounts, and even social media breadcrumbs. Case closed? Not quite. Cue the plot twist. Dedrick Williams' legal team dropped a major bombshell during the trial, suggesting that investigators didn't dig deep enough into XXXTentacion's public feud with Drake.
She's gonna stand up, sit there, and she's gonna tell you that the reason that she wanted security with Mr. Onfroy on the day that he was shot was because of the issues that he had with Drake and Migos.
Yes, Drake, the certified lover boy himself. And let's not forget, X once said in an Instagram live that if he was ever killed, it would be Drake. What? Imagine the internet's reaction when that clip resurfaced. Fans were going wild, piecing together cryptic lyrics from Drake's songs that seemed to hint at X's death. Remember Drake's track, I'm Upset? Yeah, fans pointed out the line, SMS XXX, that's the only time I shoot below the neck. And then there's Mob Ties, where Drake rapped about Louis bags in exchange for body bags. Coincidence? Or was Champagne Poppy throwing subliminals? Oh, but it doesn't stop there, sis. In 2022, Drake dropped his joint album with 21 Savage, Her Loss, and on the track On BS, he rapped, maybe I should do a 20, do a 10. If he held his tongue on that live, he'd be alive again. Baby. The internet went into a frenzy. Was this a subtle jab at X's Instagram live rant against Drake and his OVO crew? I mean, the timing of these lyrics is very sus. Now, let's talk about Dedrick Williams' appeal because, this is where things heat up. His lawyer, Mauricio Padilla, argued that the investigators overlooked a critical angle: X's feud with Drake and other OVO-affiliated artists.
Prior to him being murdered, he had posted on Instagram, if anybody kills me, I'm snitching right now, it's Champagne Poppy. I'm paraphrasing, but something to that effect, right? So, imagine, the decedent said prior to his death, if anybody kills me, it's Champagne Poppy, which is Drake's Instagram name. I laid out in extreme detail.
According to Padilla, X's beef with Drake wasn't just petty social media drama. It was intense enough for X's own mother to be worried about his safety. In fact, she testified that she had urged her son to get additional security because of the ongoing tensions. Girl.
Just take it. So, okay, fine. I set a notice of hearing, went and served Drake in his castle in Beverly Hills.
There's something that you mentioned, and I want to talk about this. So first of all, there was this deposition that was taken of XXXTentacion's mother, Cleopatra Bernard, She testified that Onfroy had this ongoing feud with Mr. Graham, Aubrey Graham, Drake. She said this feud with Graham included throwing shots at Onfroy and lyrics from one of Graham's songs you mentioned.
If that doesn't raise eyebrows, I don't know what does. And here's the kicker. Drake was subpoenaed to testify about his connection to the case. Yes, you heard that right. But before you start screaming, let me tell you what happened next. Drake's legal team quickly stepped in, and the subpoena was quashed faster than you can say hotline bling. Fans were left wondering, why didn't Drake have to testify? Was this just a routine legal move, or was there something bigger being swept under the rug? But wait, there's more. During the trial, Padilla revealed that X's feud with Drake wasn't just a one-off incident. Other rappers, including Migos and 600 Breezy, were reportedly involved in tense exchanges with X, and at least one of them allegedly traveled to Florida armed. The drama surrounding this case is giving major crime thriller vibes, and honestly, it's hard not to question whether all the dots have been connected. Now, let's get real for a second.
I'm fighting against, like, how big it's all gotten for me. And when I have genuine intentions to always like big people up and show love, sometimes it gets twisted, you know? And I think that, again, just like the writing thing, there's like another thing that people tend to like just bring up as a negative about me, like, oh, you're taking from the culture and this, that, and the third, and it really.
Does this mean Drake was directly involved in X's murder? Not necessarily. Padilla clarified that he wasn't accusing Drake of pulling the trigger, but argued that investigators didn't explore all potential suspects thoroughly. And you know what? He might have a point. The evidence tying the convicted men to the crime is strong, but the way this case was handled leaves room for speculation. Of course, not everyone's buying into the conspiracy theories. Drake's fans are convinced this is just another smear campaign, possibly linked to his ongoing feud with Kendrick Lamar and Universal Music Group. And honestly, it's not hard to see why some think this whole narrative is a reach. But with so many cryptic details, can we really ignore the possibility of deeper connections? But here's the thing. Whether you're Team Drake or convinced there's something shady going on, the unanswered questions in this case are enough to keep anyone up at night. Why did X make that chilling statement about Drake on Instagram Live?
Well, I think it was like the street element.
Yeah, exactly. But the street element only goes so far. You know what I'm saying? And I say that respectfully, because I don't want brother to feel like, you feel me, like I'm stepping on his toes, you feel me? But regardless of anything, there was origin behind what I was doing.
I feel like you guys both like...
Was it just a spur-of-the-moment rant, or did he know something we don't? And what about those cryptic lyrics? If they were just coincidences, why do they line up so perfectly with the timeline of events surrounding X's death? Girl, the math just isn't mathing. And let's not forget the role of social media in fueling this drama. Fans have dissected every lyric, every Instagram post, and every interview, connecting dots that may or may not even exist. While some argue it's just fan theories spiraling out of control, others believe these coincidences are too consistent to ignore. Could Drake's team have been involved in shutting down the deposition to protect their client's reputation? Or is this all just another case of internet sleuths going too far? Now here's where it gets even spicier. As much as Drake's fans defend him, X's supporters argue that justice was never fully served. They feel that the investigation prioritized wrapping up the case quickly rather than uncovering the full story. And honestly, it's hard to ignore the frustration when key figures in the industry weren't properly questioned. If this case taught us anything, it's that the line between reality and conspiracy can be razor thin. So, what do you think? Is this all just smoke and mirrors, or is there a fire burning somewhere beneath the surface? Either way, one thing is for sure. The legacy of XXXTentacion is as polarizing as ever, and the whispers surrounding his death aren't fading anytime soon. Drop your theories in the comments because, trust me, this story is far from over. And as always, stay tuned for more updates, because you know I'll be spilling the tea as soon as it brews.